Hello, it's Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous Saturday. I've got my buddy Toaster. It's like so beautiful and sunny outside. I have my football shirt on, and today we're gonna get organized because I have a lot of knitting projects going on and I need some structure to help me get through the next few months. So if you have a lot of projects planned for the fall, grab a pen and a paper, get your projects organized, and we're gonna go through this together. For real, it's such a beautiful day. Let me show you just how nice it is outside right now. It's so gorgeous and sunny. I think we're gonna be going out later on, but everything is so nice right now. So I've got all the windows open and I'm ready to do some organization. So mainly today, I'm gonna take all the projects that I have planned for the next like 6 weeks, get them onto paper, get some things planned out because I have some deadlines and some things I just wanna like make sure that I'm working on, and I just need to get organized. I'm feeling a little bit like, what should I work on next? And I'd rather just know. And I think we'll do some cleaning today because I want to get the top of this looking better without my projects on there, which means kind of cleaning out some of these bins down here too. It's a constant thing. Things are moving, coming in, coming out. So if you want to do this along with me, please do. I'm going to just be sharing the steps kind of as I go of how I'm going to get organized. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring out all the projects that I'm currently working on. I'm going to use the bed as my work surface. I'm going to bring out all of those projects, and I'm going to bring out the yarn for the projects that I'm planning to start in the next couple of weeks. And then we'll see where we are. I think after that, we're going to sit down and make a real solid plan on paper. I mean, I'm all about knitting being fun, but I do like having goals and structure to help me, especially when I kind of get in over my head with so many projects. It just helps me know where to focus my time on. And I want to make sure I have my projects in certain stages so that they're easy to work on out and about, or when I'm traveling, or when I'm sitting at night. So I don't have to do all the thinking stuff like when I'm tired. I just want to knit. So I think we'll get all the projects and yarn out first and put them on the bed here, and we'll go from there.
I got this boy on my mind that I can't live without. Oh, his eyes are killing me, and he keeps talking about everything that he likes, and I can't stop listening. I'm thinking about him all the time. I'm thinking about him all the time. I'm thinking about him all the time, all the time.
Okay, this is a lot. Okay, I have things divided here. On the left is all of my current whips, and on the right is everything I'm planning to cast on in the next few weeks. This is kind of a 6 to 8 week plan here, if you will. So just to give you a quick tour of things, I've got 2 projects that have big deadlines. This sweater right here, which I went ahead and grabbed all the rest of the yarn that I have too, because I figured if I'm preparing, I'm just gonna wind and prep everything that I have. So this sweater, there's a little bit of yarn in there for that one too. And then this sweater, because these are my 2 Rhinebeck sweaters, and I'll have all my projects linked so you can go find them super easily. And again, putting all the yarn together with it. I have another sweater that I am not too worried about like finishing until the end of the year. So I still want it to be part of my plan, but it's like later on the list. And then I've just got a pair of socks here too. But another part of kind of bringing out all my projects and looking at them is I haven't worked on these socks for a few days because they're at a point where I need to focus. And so today I can make a plan too of like, okay, I need to sit down and look up this new cast on and get it cast on and started. And I can put that on my list of things to do to help get me prepared so that I have another project ready to go out and about. So those are my current whips. And then over here, I have a bunch of yarn for projects that I want to start. So this one you might have seen in my vlog for shawlography. So this is going to be my shawlography shawl. This one has a start date of October 8th. I have my yarn for the Spooky Sock Smile, which has a start date of October 1st, so that's going to be before this one. I have some yarn I wound up for a friend socks, which there's really no deadline. I'm kind of thinking like Christmas, but because I'm testing out this new sock formula, I want to start them soon, like after I finish my other socks, so I might just have them started. And then the last thing is I'm gonna try really, really hard. This is a yarn from Raven Moon Dye Works. I got this when I was in Nashville just a little while ago, last month, and I designed this cowl last year with her yarn as well. And I have just never gotten to writing up the pattern. It is such a pretty yarn and a pretty pattern. It's so fun. It's like the playtime shawl. It's going to be the playtime cowl. There will be a long version, and then I also have a short version. Let me see. Oh wait, those are my two long versions because I wanted to make sure they were one skein. Here we go. And then here is the short version, and they're so fun and so pretty, and I just need to like do it. And since it's been so long since I've done these two versions, I went ahead and grabbed another skein from her so that I can make up one last version as I write the pattern. That's something I would really like to do in the next few weeks. Probably not right away because I need to get those sweaters finished, but soon. And it's crochet and I miss crocheting. So 4 current whips, 4 new ones to start. So where do we go from here? This feels very overwhelming, but I'm gonna get it on paper and it's gonna feel so much better. I'll show you how. I'm sat down here at my desk and I've got my planner. I've just gone to a blank page in here because we really don't keep paper around our house. We don't have a printer, but you can take a piece of paper, you can do this on the computer, wherever you want to do it. And let me make sure I'm in here so you can see it. We're gonna get to planning. So of course I have some fun colored pens because why not? So here's what I'm gonna do. Making sure this is all good. Okay, it's all good. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna write down all the projects. If you hear Ken, he's watching football. I'm gonna write down all of my projects, whips first, new cast-ons second, and I'm gonna put any associated dates with them. So I've got my butterscotch sweater, which is my Bellish sweater, and I want to have that one finished before October 8th. I have a calendar up here on my computer as well. Then I have my Lume sweater, that's the color work one, and I also want that one finished by October 8th. I have my socks, my bundle up socks, which have no deadline, so I'm just gonna leave that one blank. The only thing I want to do, I have another goal for that later, and then I have my last whip is my long summer cardigan, which I want to finish by the end of the year. So that's just going to be, you know, later on in the year, December 31st. Okay, so change colors. Why not make it fun? Change colors, and we are going to do the cast-on. So for new cast-ons, I have my Haunted Rose Garden sock set, and I want to cast that on October 1st. And then I have the shawlography yarn, which I need to get prepared so I can cast on October 8th, which is why I want to finish these other sweaters. So I probably should have put like finish by for these two. This doesn't have to be perfect. And then my other projects are the other socks for my friend. I'm just gonna call them socks. I just want to get those like cast on this weekend. So I'll just say cast on, I think this is today, the 25th. So I'm just gonna say cast on by the 26th. And you know what? That's the same for these bundle up socks. I want to cast on second sock by the 26th, which is tomorrow. Gotta have goals, right? And then the last one is gonna be my playtime cowl, which, you know what, I haven't really thought of a deadline for that one yet. So I'm gonna hang on and see where everything else plays out before I get a deadline for this one. So here we go, we have all the projects, all the associated dates, and now we can make a plan. For my next step, I'm going to take each project individually and write out everything that's left to do with that project. So for the ones that are already started, what I need to do to finish, and for the ones I haven't cast on yet, what I need to do in order to cast on. That's going to help me see all the tasks that I need to do. That's going to take a minute, so I'm just going to let you watch it all sped up.
My heart's beating fast when it's looking like that, or his smile is killing me. It's the way that it moves and the way that it laughs, so I can't get enough. Think about him all the time, I can't get him off my mind. Oh, I want him to be mine, to be mine. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want him now, 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 now. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, so we went from the projects to what needs to happen for each project. So these are all of my current whips still in the lighter pink. So I just kind of did it like really general. Like I'll get more specific later, but like I have left 2 sleeves and to block 1 sweater. I need to do the body, the ribbing, and 2 sleeves and block another sweater, just stuff like that. And then for my cast-ons, I have some different things that take a lot of thought. Like I need to pick out a pattern. Winding the yarn is obviously easy, but now I can kind of go through and like check off different things. And then wherever it says prepare kit, I just mean like get my project bag, get the needles that I need, get the stitch markers that I need, have all that prepared. I need to swatch for shawlography, make sure I really like my colors, and I need to do some thinking about the socks, and you know, there's just different stuff to do. So I have one more step now that I have all the specifics written out. It's time to get some dates on these specific things. For my last step, now that I have all of these different tasks to do, I'm gonna actually assign it some time frame. So you can get as specific as you want. I don't do it exactly the same for every single project, but I'm gonna be doing basically week by week for the 2 sweaters that I want to finish by October 8th. So I'm gonna look, I think I have 2 weeks left. So what do I want to accomplish each week by the end of each week? And then I think I'm gonna break those down day by day just because there's a lot going on with those projects and I really need those finished before the shawlography shawl starts. And then as far as starting my new projects, I'm gonna break those down into two kind of like time periods. So we're going on a trip on Monday. It's Saturday right now. So I'm going to write down on one list everything that I want prepared before we go on the trip. For example, when we come back from our trip, I'm going to be casting these on right away. So I'm going to go ahead and make a decision on the pattern and wind the yarn so that that's all ready for me. But when we come back from the trip, this is going to be 7 days away. So I don't necessarily need to wind up my shawlography yarn quite yet. So I can do like a before the trip, which will be this weekend, and an after the trip for my new cast-ons, so I don't have to stress as much about those things. Again, you can get as specific as you want. If you want to go day by day, hour by hour, whatever helps you get things done. I find making a list really, really motivates me, and even working on something just a little bit every day helps so much. Here's the plan. All right, so this is next week, and then this is the week after. These are my goals for those 2 sweaters. And so I'm going to do both sleeves on this butter swatch sweater over the next week and the Lume body and ribbing. I'm going to need to break this down, I think, day by day. So I might be showing that here in a little bit because I don't know. I just started this first sleeve, and I don't know how much I've done on the body yet of Lume. But it will be nice to kind of have like, oh, I need to do so many inches per day. Doesn't mean I have to stick to that, but it is nice to have that. And then that will leave me with just the sleeves on Lume. I mean, it's going to take a while, and then blocking both sweaters. And this is a week before Rhinebeck, so I have plenty of wiggle room just in case, but I would really like to be done before the shawl. And then I have my before and after trip. I need to get some yarn wound for the sweater I'm bringing with me on the trip. And I want to get my socks going. This is like sock 1, sock 2, all that stuff. Then I need to go ahead and get my Haunted Rose Garden stuff ready. And instead of writing all those things down, I just put all. So I can just go back up to here and figure that stuff out. And then I want to get my other socks started because I need some sock knitting like just ready to go. I need socks. And then the other stuff that can wait until after I get back home is shawlography and playtime, but it's nice to just have that like thought out. So now I can take this yarn and put it back, but know that I've made some decisions on it, and not have to worry about it. So sometimes it's just like mental energy. Once you make a decision on it, then it doesn't have the same mental load. I just did so much thinking. I don't want to think for a second. So I'm going to do a little tidying up before I move on to the first task on that list.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it's dark, when it's dark. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, if you want. Yeah, I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want. All the way that I feel, yeah, I know that it's real, 'cause I can get him out of my head. I don't care what we do, everything's feeling new. Even if we stay in bed, my heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah. You know I want him, nah, 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 nah. My heart is saying yeah, 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 yeah.
This looks much nicer. It drives me crazy when this is a mess, but it's like always a mess. I like always put stuff up there. I finally took the time to find a place for my advent. I put it behind the here because it like fits perfectly. My Moonglow advent, like right back there, but it makes this stick out a little bit, but I might find another place for that later. But that works for now. I can find another spot in a closet, perhaps. So I left out everything that I need to work on this weekend. Hi, Toaster. Thanks for letting us have your bed. And I think I need a little lunch break, a little pizza break. So I'm just gonna knit for a minute and eat some pizza, watch some football, and then I think it's gonna be winding time for at least one of these. I think I have plenty of I don't think I'm going to need these for my butterswatch sweater because I just started with a fresh new skein for the first sleeve. So I really don't think I'm going to need those other ones. So, because I've still got this one too. So I think I'm just going to need one more of these. These I'll be able to return exchange for different yarns. So I'm just going to wind one. Anyway, it'll be a winding party, but lunch break first.
I told him I can be a fighter if you want. I'll be there to catch you if you fall. I can make it brighter when it's dark, when it's dark. I told him I would do it all for you, and I know you do it for me too. I can be a fighter if you want, if you want. Yeah, I can be a fighter. I can be a fighter if you want. I can be a fighter if you want.
Sitting here trying to get some stuff figured out so I can cross a couple things off my list tonight. The rest will be for tomorrow. But I am doing some math to figure out my 2 sweaters for the next week. So I went and measured some things, and I am going to get out my phone calculator here so I can figure out exactly what I need to do every single day on Lume and the butterswatch sweater. So here's the Lume sweater. My goal next week is to get, which is starting tomorrow, because tomorrow's Sunday, is to get the body done. So I have to do 5 more inches of the body plus short rows, which are about another inch, and then the hem, which is 1.5 inches. And I figured out that 7 rows equal an inch. So what I'm gonna do here is do 5 inches plus 1 inch for the short rows plus 1.5 inches for the ribbing. So I've got 7.5 total inches, and I need to do 7 rows per inch. So I'm going to do times 7. So I have to do 52.5 rows. Now I have 7 days next week, so we'll divide it by 7, which means I need to do approximately 7.5 rows per day. So I'm just going to say 8. I mean, basically I'm doing like 1 inch per day. I'll probably do a little more some days, not work on it some days, but roughly I can do like 8 rows per day or 1 inch per day, and I should have that goal met next week. Now my butterswatch sweater, that's the one I'm going to be working on more. So I'm working on the sleeves. I have the first sleeve to like right here. I just tried it on, and I think the sleeves are 17 inches total, but I want to do both. So I'm going to do 17 times 2, 34 total inches. That's a lot. That's a lot. And oh darn, I didn't write down how many rows per inch, though I'm pretty sure it's 7 as well, because I think it's, hold on, 28 divided by 4. Yeah, 7. Okay, so I need to do 34 inches times 7 rows. That's both sleeves. So both sleeves, 238 rows. So that's what I'm gonna divide by 7. So I need to do 34 rows per day. I think that's doable because again, it's on a sleeve. And again, I'm not like doing this to say, just to get things done, I need to be super rigid and I'll do 34 rows and then I'll stop working and then I'll do 7 rows, you know, whatever. But it's just kind of helpful to know like, okay, 34 rows, I can do that, or 8 rows, I can do that, instead of like, I need to do 5 inches this week. It's like a little more vague, and I like it when it's really, really consistent. So actually that's encouraging. I'm really glad I kind of looked at that and figured that out. So fingers crossed in the next week I can get 2 sleeves on my butterscotch sweater done and the body of Lume done, and that will leave me a whole week to finish Lume's sleeves, which I will need. All right, now let's really cross something off the list. I need to pick a pattern for this Moon Glow yarn. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So a main color, 5 minis. I have thought about doing something simple like this. This is a post from, let me scroll down. I sent it to my email like a while ago so I wouldn't forget. Whitney sent this to me. This Handmade Life. And so, oops, I don't know what I just did, but it's a pretty simple, just doing some different stripes. I think that would be really, really cute. But my other option is to do, I'm switching hands so I can use my mouse with my right hand, is to do this fun plaid pattern. So it's really cute there, but wait just a second. Here it is in different colors. Look, wouldn't that be so cute? So I'm kind of torn between being like realistic about I'm more of a vanilla sock girl and doing something really, really fun like this. I'm gonna have vanilla socks going on the side, so it might not be terrible to do something really fun like that. So I'm gonna let you pick. Should I do the plaid socks, which by the way, this pattern is called Knitting with Besties, but it's a pattern set. It's only like $5 for the pattern set, and this is one of the patterns in there. So it's actually intended for the Share a Pair from Mandy's Makings, which is pretty cool. So should I do these, or should I do something simple like this? What would you do? What would you suggest for me? Let me know, and I will take it into consideration. I might have decided by then, but I think I'm definitely between these two. So it is getting really, really dark outside. Sun is setting. So I think I'm gonna have a bit of a winding party and get this wound and this wound. And this is all I need for my butterscotch sweater. I think I will have plenty of yarn for it. I should probably, well no, because I'm leaving in like in 24 hours pretty much. I was gonna say I should weigh my mohair and see, but I think I'll just bring 1 skein of mohair unwound in case I need it. And if I don't, I'll be able to take it back to the store when I get back here and get store credit and get some other yarn, which will be great. So I'm gonna wind up these few things on the bed here with little baby Toaster and watch some reality television and call it a night. But I will see you guys tomorrow so we can check a couple other things off the list. I mean, I might get some other things done tonight, but no guarantees. I might just knit after that. You know, a little reward for getting some things done.
I've been watching you from a distance as I turn out all the lights. All I want from you is to listen and remember the good times. If you think of all that we leave out, is that weird you're feeling good? I know nothing ever turned out as you wanted to, but every time I feel it, every time I breathe, every time I close my eyes, it's coming right at me over again.
Okay, so this happens to me kind of often, I have to admit. Sometimes I go a little too fast winding my yarn, whatever, and some of it slips out. So with this one, I can actually see like the layers that it's coming from. So I'm actually gonna try my best to just kind of tuck this extra part into the layers of that space. And when I get to it, I might have to do a little detangling, but it'll be fine. But this is way faster than having to rewind the whole skein, and it will be 1,000,000% fine. So if you ever have to do that, you can just tuck that away. And then I'm gonna put one of my yarn cozies on here, and that will help it to not, you know, come undone anymore. I love using these because I like to pull from the middle of the skein, and there we go. Everything's a nice little cake. Okay, just checking on my list before I end for the night. So I have wound yarn here, and I wound yarn for my butter swatch. I feel like because I'm leaving it up to y'all, I have picked a pattern, so to be determined. I'll get everything ready tomorrow. I want to take some pictures before I put cozies on my yarn. And then I think tonight, like I said, I'm gonna knit, but I might go ahead and graft the sock, so I'll let you know in the morning when I pick this back up, but good night for now. Good morning. It is another gorgeous day, another gorgeous weekend day. I've got an oil treatment in my hair. I've got the window open. I've got the shades up. Hold on, the air just came on. We don't need the air on if the window's open. It's really nice and pleasant outside today. It's like, well, it's probably gonna get up to the 70s later, but it's in the 60s right now. We've got fresh sheets on the bed, but I'm waiting on everything else. It's a typical Sunday. So where we left things last night, I'm still working through my list. I've got like, let me show you. Here's all the knitting stuff that we did yesterday, and then I've got all this work stuff, just trying to get ready to go out of town. So I have a few things I want to do still today, and I need to do my maintenance stuff now of working 34 rows on butter swatch and 8 rows on lume, although I'm already 4 rows into this one. So over here, walk with me, walk with me. I have everything that I need wound up, except I thought of one more thing I might wind today, but I've got my butter swatch yarn all wound up, and I still have so much mohair. I don't think I'm gonna need another skein of mohair, but I'm gonna bring this on my trip just in case. And then I've got all of my Haunted Rose Garden stuff wound up and ready. So let's go ahead and get our kit ready for this, because that was something else on my list. So when I say kit, I just mean everything that I'm gonna need for this project. So I'm obviously gonna need a project bag and some needles. So needles are in here. We'll get those out in a second. I need to bring this Notions pouch on my trip, so I'm just gonna set it up there. Okay, we don't need a large project bag. I've got a lot going on in here. I need a smaller one. Oh, you know what? I should bring this with me on my trip because we're actually going to Florida. So let me set that out too. Okay, what kind of project bag do we want? Too early. Too early for Christmas? Gosh, I don't have as many small project bags as I used to because I got rid of a bunch because I just had so many that I wasn't using. But where is my, hold on. Look who's decided to join us. Hey, baby boy. Okay, so I'm planning my kit. Here's the kit. It's all the things. Hold on. Camera strap is in the way. There we go. Okay, so I think I want to use my Halloween bag because why not? And I've got a lot of yarn, so it's good to have a nice big bag. And then I pulled out all of these different mini yarn cozies. These are technically the 20-gram yarn cozies, so they'll kind of swallow up these 10-gram minis a little bit, but it should still work just fine. And I just picked out like colors that I kind of thought were of a similar palette and reminded me of like a haunted rose garden. You need some space, buddy? There you go. Come on. Up. I don't know what's preventing him from getting up. Here you go. You have space. There you go. Up, up. Come on. There we go. Goofy dog. Okay, anyway. So picked out cozies that I kind of thought went with the fall spooky theme. I just wanted all to kind of like look nice together. I have them, why not? And then this is my yarn for Butterswatch, but it was in this cozy, so I switched them out. So that can go over there, and I can use this one for the main cozy. So we're gonna get these all cozied up here. I've got the bag. Oh, I need the needles. I'll get needles out of here. And then last thing is stitch markers. So I just love to pick out progress keepers. I'm just gonna dump them. I just love to pick out progress keepers that kind of either fit the project or fit my mood and kind of match. So I'll pick out 2 progress keepers that will go with the socks. Actually, I'm probably just gonna pick out 1 progress keeper because I think I'm just gonna start 1 sock. I didn't split this intentionally because I think I'm just gonna do 1 sock at a time in case it's a patterned sock. And then I'll pull out a bunch of light bulb stitch markers to count rows and everything. So let's get that all set up, and I'll have another thing checked off the list.
I'll walk across the room just to show you that I'm still around. Ask if you wanna meet somewhere later when the sun goes down. Oh, you know I'm serious. I'm serious. I will keep you all to myself. Oh, you're so mysterious.
All right, I found another Halloween marker I have. It's a pumpkin cookie. I don't have a ton of Halloween ones. I mean, I'm using a couple right now, and I honestly don't know who this is from. It could be from Simply Serving. That's very, very possible. And I decided to use some black light bulb stitch markers. So what I like to do when I haven't knit the sock yet is I just open up my progress keeper here, and I put all of the light bulb stitch markers onto the progress keeper so that everything is just together and ready. And I will fasten it onto the sock that way too, once I get it cast on and everything. It just keeps everything together for me here. So I just need to add needles, and then you probably saw me setting aside some Disney markers because I'm going to Disney. So when I get these other socks cast on today, I might switch over to my Disney markers because I think that will be fun while I'm at Disney. But I just love having fun progress keepers. So I think we can check off getting the Haunted Rose Garden set all ready. So when I come back on October 1st, I'm just like ready to cast on. So that feels really, really good. Okay, oops. It's now the next day, and we're leaving today. Of course, typical me, but that's okay. Part of having a plan is so that if things don't go according to plan, it's easier to arrange because you have everything written down on paper, right? The good news is that I did do my 8 rows on Lume yesterday. I did my 34 rows on Butterswatch, so I'm at least executing those things. But what I wanted to do ideally was finish this sock. I just have to graft the toe, cast on the second sock, and then also cast on another pair or another sock for a different pair, but we are running out of time. So I still got all of my stuff. I'm going on a trip. right? We're leaving on a trip this morning. I've still got everything written out. So I think we are going to prioritize. Instead of worrying about finishing this sock or casting on the new pair of socks, I am just going to focus on casting on the second sock of this sock so that I have something to work on while we're traveling to the airport and all of that today. And then I'm going to get, oh, and I need to split this in half for sleeves, so I need to get that wound. So I'm going to prioritize those two things, make sure I'm ready, packed for everything else, and if I have time at the end, then I can go back and graft and do all of that, and I probably won't, so I probably just need to cast on. But I am doing this crazy new cast on. It needs to be super extra stretchy because I have reduced the number of stitches that I cast on by a lot, and this is not stretchy enough. So this is called like the slip knot cast on. It's super weird, and I practiced it last week, but I need to look up the tutorial again and practice it again. So I am going to get YouTube pulled up here, get these stitches cast on, knit one row, and then we're going to put it away and call it good, and I'm going to work on winding this. So hey, we get a bonus day here in this vlog that I wasn't intending to add, but there you go.
Now, you know how Kat Lori likes to tell animal stories in her videos? I have an animal story for this particular video, which is that
So we are minutes away from leaving on our trip, so what's done is done. I've got these things to put in my check bag because I'm not going to be working on them on the plane, and then I've got my plane project. I'm going to have to bring this in like a tote bag with my purse or something because it's such a big project now, and I'm bringing socks. So there's my two plane projects, a portable one and one I'm actually going to pull out once we're like up in the air and flying. So I may not have gotten exactly where I wanted to be before we leave on this trip today, but overall I feel really good about my upcoming fall projects. I feel organized, I feel like I know what I need to do, and I feel like it's totally doable and manageable. So hopefully seeing kind of how I break down and plan my projects helps you out a little bit today. But again, you're the boss of your knitting, so you do whatever works for you. Knitting should be fun, it should not be stressful, and I just love having goals. I think that really motivates me, and I think it motivates a lot of other people as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting packed up for this trip, head off to Florida, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!